Bring them on, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so this is the crossover section. Now, mine is a little different because I've had the header shaved that actually raised this up. So I had to remove like this mesh part, this outer mesh part of the crossover, because the issue I was having was the mesh part was rubbing on the harmonic balancer. Now, let's talk about your V-bands. I like Vibrant just because of that quick disconnect feature right there. So you can kind of latch it, but you get the idea. These are 2.5 inches. Another thing that you can do is, which I'm not going to do on this side, on this portion, because I never really had an issue with sealing on the crossover, is you can get some ultra copper and run it across the sealing surface, or you can make a gasket. Let me see if I can find the gasket that I made for this. All right, so I can't find the gasket. So basically, Vibrant sells this exhaust gasket, and you have to cut it to, to size, but you just slip that in between the V-band clamp, the header, and the crossover, and it gives you a nice seal. And it also will give you just a little bit of clearance room if you have issues with the crossover touching your harmonic balancer. So let's get under the car, get this on. It's real simple getting this lined up. Also, real quick, I want to talk about my Scott rod panel, why it's mangled. So the lip of this turbo flange is below the Scott rod panel. So that's one thing, one reason why I had to mangle the Scott rod panel. The other reason is the oil drain for the turbo. The oil drain comes down this way. Honestly, if I was more of a fabricator, I probably could have made this look nice and pretty. But we're not on that. We're just trying to get this turbo kit on here. So maybe in the future I could go like a comp oilless or something like that. I won't have to worry about the drain, and I can make this nice and pretty cut around the Scott rod panel. But for what this car is, this is how you see it. And for this part right here, you really don't have to get under the car. You can almost get this on from up top. It makes a real big difference not having a radiator in the car. So if you do have the radiator in the car, I've been able to get it on and off without getting underneath. You might have to. So first off, the oil feed line is going to go above this. So I want to route that above the oil feed. And all I'm going to do is just get one side going. All right, the problem I'm having is the sway bar is being pushed up. So I have to move my jack stands around to take this load off. I'm going to try to cheat a little bit and see if I can maybe slip this on here. So I want the nuts to be facing out. So I got that one on. I want to try to spin it. So I think this is like a number 11. So let's go ahead and get this fella going. Now if I want to make this crossover nice and pretty, I could redo it, but I'm not going to worry about it. What I am going to do before I button everything up is I'm going to spin the crank over and just make sure that my crossover isn't rubbing on the balancer. But I'm gonna do that on the ground. I'm gonna get the suspension loaded on the ground, and then I'll check everything. All right, so up next, we're gonna start working on some of the cold side stuff. I'm going to mount the intercooler. Now, first thing you wanna do is check the thing, make sure it doesn't have any cracks. This is 5 years old, and it's still in relative good shape. I've inspected it, no cracks. You can pressure test it if you like. You know, just cap this in, get some kind of fitting on here to put some pressure with like a PSI gauge, and if it holds whatever pressure you put in there, then you know it's good. I'm not gonna do it. I never had any problems with this intercooler. Some people mount these things up top using some angle iron and these 2 mount tabs, and I'm gonna show you how I mount mine. All right, let's talk about mounting this. I've actually made these brackets right here on the crash bar, and I'll just raise the intercooler up, and you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Get a bolt, go through there, and there's your support. Okay, we're at the point where we got the intercooler mounted, and so we need to connect the intercooler to the throttle body. I have 2 pieces here, and I must say that the one mistake that I made, and don't make the same mistake, is when I ordered my On3 turbo kit, I caught myself trying to save some money, and I didn't order it with the mass airflow sensor bung. So you can order these kits with or without the mass airflow, basically the mounting spot for it on your intake pipe. I didn't do it, and I caught myself just being able to cut this mass airflow pipe I have to make up the difference, and it just totally threw off how the intercooler connects to the throttle body. So don't make that mistake. Spend the extra 40, 50, however much money it takes, and get that done. Other thing, it's your best friend right here, hairspray. Now get the stickiest, most lock-in hairspray that you can find, and on every silicone coupler that you use to connect to another piece, shoot it with some hairspray. Like, until I started using this, I was having issues with silicone couplers blowing off, but using the hairspray technique, I've yet to have a silicone coupler pop off. So let's get this installed on the intercooler, and I'll probably have to loosen up some things first. All right, so shoot some hairspray on here. I'm going to connect this, but I'm pretty sure this is not the final angle that this thing's going to be on. Actually, I want this. I get this facing down. So now I'm going to move upstream to this piece right here. Same thing, you want to throw your hairspray on here, and so this is going to come through this hole right here, and it's going to connect to the throttle body. So I'm not going to record this part. I'll show you the aftermath of it.